Arknights is a tower defense gacha game that is very popular in its genre, with no other games in its field like it. The popularity and core fan base are many and very strong. I tried playing the game once and I liked it a lot. It was simple and easy to play, and while I didn't play it for a long time, I think I would have thoroughly played every bit of it back in my prime gaming era. There wasn't much to be upset about, and unlike another recent gacha game that rhymes with Genshin Impact, it didn't feel like a chore to log on every day. Other mobile games such as Azure Lane and Cancole have gotten anime adaptations in the past, but they've never been amazing. With this new adaptation of Arknights, I had hopes that the stigma would change. There would be an anime adaptation of a video game that held up to the standards of orthodox anime. Well, maybe you can guess by the title, but I think Star Pictures did just that. Welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about the newly airing anime production of Arknights. Arknights Prelude to Dawn is a show following the storyline of the Arknights mobile game. If you had searched up anything on my anime list before this came out, it would have come up with anime promotional videos for the game itself. I want to talk about how much of a banger this show is, from the music to the atmosphere, so let's get straight into it. For those who don't know, let me quickly explain the story. The story follows Doctor, an amnesiac researcher from Rhodes Island, a pharmaceutical company. The research they do pertains to the phenomenon known as auropathy, a disease people become infected by through overexposure to an ore called originium. This disease spreads through their body and crystallizes, causing the infected to die. Rhodes Island are the good guys here. They are researching a cure for auropathy, and their enemies are the radical group named Reunion. Their group also consists of infected, and they fight back against the people who discriminate against them. With that being said, their ideals are insane, and they retaliate against Rhodes Island when they get in the way of their plans. Those are the basics of the conflict going into Arknights. Compared to other anime such as Cancole and Azure Lane, I'd say that this series takes on a much heavier tone in its story. In the first minutes of the story, you are put into a stressful scenario where you have no idea what is going on. Unlike the other anime where the antagonists appear out of thin air one day, there is precedence to the conflict occurring in Arknights. It's because of this that the story makes sense. The world is the way it is because of its history. It's laid out for you. I guess in a way, Arknights already had more of a solid story and setting than all these other mobile games. With something like Azure Lane and Blue Archive, I never could figure out if the writers wanted us to take the event seriously or be in a gleeful mood. Arknights knew which of these niches it wanted to fit in and stuck with it. I guess it means something to have strong roots. Side note, go ahead and like Azure Lane and Blue Archive. The story just didn't click with me personally. The main point I want to expand upon is the mood that this anime sets for itself. All parts of this anime immerse you in the world you have in front of you. The characters, the voice acting, the art style, and music really set the scene for the situation and enhance the feeling of desperation this world has plunged itself into. When I look at the art style, I'm not astounded. It's nothing groundbreaking, but in terms of atmosphere, they nailed it very well. The colors are dim and dark. If it were any more saturated, the locations in the anime would look a lot happier than they actually are. The people in this world are in very bad situations, and with a dehydrated palette, the atmosphere is anything but bright. The art style also isn't something that you see in every anime. Like I've mentioned in the past, lots of low-tier anime have adapted this sort of clean, slick art style that would, in theory, fit any type of anime you are producing. But in my opinion, there should be an artistic touch to any style an animation studio uses. Of course, Arknights doesn't do this to the greatest extent, but it kept its individuality. Looking at the characters from an overall story angle, I think the original creators knew what they were doing, what different types of people would exist in a slowly crumbling environment. The world isn't in a healthy state, and the personalities of the characters portray that feeling. From Amiya, who holds the weight of Rhodes Island on her shoulders, to Doberman and Chen taking on the more realistic roles when it comes to sacrificing personnel and citizens, there is a character for every tone that the show needs in order to seem grounded in reality. The final piece I absolutely love about this anime is the music used. The background music uses sounds that depict an apocalyptic world more than anything else. During the stealth and silent movements, the music takes a backseat to indicate the hushed sensitivity of the situation. When there are dramatic or emotional moments, which includes the fight sequences, the music takes the center stage to imbue that memory into you. The opening and ending are amazing. The intro gives a sense of hanging on, no matter what comes your way. It encourages you to keep going and pushing on through the pain you are facing. With the ending, the show brings you down from the high stakes presented in the episode, while still giving you the hardened resolve of the opening. There's one piece of the show I don't necessarily like as much, and that's the action sequences. I think it leaves a lot to be desired. It's not as dynamic as they should be, but I don't think it ruins the show. That is the biggest blemish, but the Arknights anime shows the most potential for future game to anime adaptations. Of course, a good adaptation will always require good source material. I think Arknights was always going to be a step ahead of other games when it came to this aspect. You don't need a story that mirrors Arknights, but an anime that leans into its story, one that has a strong sense of identity and knows where its story is going. The direction of an anime needs to be clear and make sense. Arknights Prelude to Dawn, as its name suggests, is the beginning of what's going to be a good story. Game enjoyers, if it isn't, please comment below that I'm giving it too much credit. Surely I'll play the game soon, surely. I'm saying it's going to be a good story because the prelude sets it up well enough that I can expect that much. It establishes the mood and atmosphere with many of its aspects very well, and it looks like it's taking its first steps towards setting an example for anime adaptations. I wanted to make this video with the idea that video game adaptations can be good. Not all of them have to be mediocre, and I think with the evolution of anime standards, they'll have to be better. I think Arknights is the beginning of it, the soon to come well adapted video game anime. We'll receive productions that the general anime community can be happy about, rather than a dedicated game fan base. And if I'm wrong, at me on Twitter and make fun of me, I don't care. Thank you for watching this video. I don't think I'm alone in recognizing Arknights as one of the better game to anime adaptations. If you agree, leave a comment, and if you don't, leave a comment discussing it because I want to be proven wrong. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.